What is going on, guys? What is going on? I see you, Caleb. Today, man, I'm actually recording my video because I just did it without sound on accident. It's going to take way too long. I got work coming up, so I get this thing done. But today, man, we're going to talk about T-Mac. All right, we'll talk about the draft class after if we have time. But we look at T-Mac's game log. We start off week 1 against the Jags. 9 targets, 10 targets, 8, 8, 8, 5. And I looked at that and I was like, we got to get him the ball more, right? We got to get T-Mac the ball more. 8 targets, 3 straight times, and obviously Rico started to get going on that Dolphins game and then Cowboys game. Rico took off, right? Jets, only 5 targets once again. Buffalo, 10 targets. I don't know how many of those were late. Green Bay, only 6. New Orleans, 8. And then the Falcons, 12 targets. Now, what changed? To me, after I watched the Saints game and I watched the Falcons game, it's the way they use T-Mac, which is what we're going to break down today. But I'm telling you, I think they've unlocked T-Mac. I think they figured out how to use him. You're still waiting for the get to really hit full stride. You know, there's a couple times where AJ Terrell goes to pick up the get, and then T-Mac gets a mismatch with the one-on-one. I mean, the offense is this close to clicking. Now, with that being said, Bryce Young at the same time has to be consistent too. All right, so let's jump into the video real quick. All right, let's take a look. First up, we're going to take a look at kind of how the Panthers used him against the Saints. So first play, I think he's going to be down here, bottom of your screen. This might have just been the 5-yard hitch. Let's take a look. 5-yard hitch right there, a little combo route, hitch, flat underneath. Second play, we're going to look at right here. You go deep out. So really nothing too crazy, the first 2 plays, which is we've seen. You're going hitch, you're going deep out, and you're going fade route. All right, let's see what else they drop. I think he had 5 catches on 8 targets, 60 yards. And then right here, we go to the bottom right. A little miscommunication between the two. All right, Bryce Young. All right, so you see they're basically lining up on the outside, sometimes a slot, just a 5-yard hitch. This game had me questioning what was the point of drafting T-Mac, if I'm being honest, because this right here, let's keep it going. Play action right here. This was that dig route over the middle right here. Biggest catch, of the game right there. I think the Panthers turned it over right there as well after that. Was this the interception? Yeah, this was the interception. So you can see that the Panthers really haven't been using T-Mac to the best of his ability, or just overall, as far as strategizing to get him open. But against the Falcons, everything changed. Excuse me real quick. All right, so first play we're going to look at right here. Right side of your screen, so not the left side. He's going to be the right side of your screen. He may be outside, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so he's going to be outside receiver. He's going to be right here. Falcons in that cover 6 look, so we got quarter. I guess this would actually be more of a half, quarter look to a point. All right, DB is going to force T-Mac in. So DB is going to force him right to the safety right there. T-Mac's going to cut in, and then bang, take it over the top. Bang, safety bites down. That close to being a home run ball. What's going on, SC? What's going on, Dark? That close. So I like that the Panthers, off the rip, man, we're going to T-Mac, trying to get him the ball deep. Second play we're going to look at right here. I went over this with the Bryce Young breakdown, kind of talking about how they got T-Mac open right here. Let's go over it again real quick. So they got him in a slot this time. We didn't see that at all against the Saints, all right? So if you look right here, essentially a 3-on-3 look, right? Bang to bang, bang to bang, bang to bang. Now, obviously, a backer could drop back, pick up T-Mac, but we're going to stretch the get deep. All right, that takes care of him right there. I believe we have Coker on the out route. All right, that's going to take care of this guy. Unless that safety drops down, then it's automatic to Coker, right? If he were to play the out route, we're going to Coker no matter what, right? So now it's either this safety picks up T-Mac or he drops back if the defense is in his own look. Let the play go. He drops back. And T-Mac's wide open. The Panthers, it took till what, week 11, week 12? They're finally putting T-Mac in a position to get the ball where it's not Bryce Young to throw it all the way across the field, right? Nice, easy throws. And then what happened right here with Jimmy Horn? Bang, stretch the defense a little bit. Bada bing, bada boom. Now the Jimmy Horn thing, it gets interesting, right? But essentially, he's good for this right here, right? As much as it would be nice to see him, get the ball in his hands. If you take a look right here, you got AJ Terrell at first, kind of manned up with T Mac. It's hard to say for sure. Does T Mac score on this? Does Bryce Young look that way if he doesn't move off, right? But here comes Jimmy Horn. All right, AJ Terrell goes to play that over there. Backers right here, bite on the run. Safety's actually backing up. I mean, this is an easy throw right here. That it doesn't get any easier than this. And all they did, if you take a look right here, all they're doing is they're just motioning Jimmy Horn, right? Because the defense is like, who's going to play him, right? It's just AJ Terrell on the outside. I think Falcons are in a nickel look potentially, or it might be a 5-2. It's hard to say right here. Who's going to play the outside? The safety would have to drop down, but the safety scooting back. Backers play the run. I mean, bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's keep it going. All right, right here. Falcons in that nickel look. They run the fake again. Man, T-Mac his route running is so smooth. I think as Panthers fans, we understand how good he is, but I don't know that the media does, because I think we have a quarters look right here from the defense, right? So essentially, and I don't know the exact rules to this once a quarter look, but it looks like T-Mac acts like he's going to cut that thing in, which means he's going to essentially pass off AJ Terrell picking him up to this safety right here, right? So Terrell's essentially going to give himself a break, right? And there goes T-Mac going back outside. I mean, it's just dirty right here, because let's say hypothetically, T-Mac doesn't go outside. I'm not going to lie, Terrell's a nice DB. Terrell might sit on that and play that deep out. But because he acts like he's going in and goes back, just turns him all the way back around. Absolutely crazy right there. 5 wide. This was interesting right here. This was one of the incompletions. Now, Bryce Young has a ton of time. And I think he was going for or he was hoping Leggett was going to turn that thing in. Let's go back real quick. So once again, kind of our cover 6, quarters look potentially right here. All right, DB's kind of playing the flat. Let's let this thing go a little bit. All right, so the linebacker forces Leggett in right there. If Leggett were to go, run that back real quick. If Leggett were to go out, right, and then bang that thing in, which we've seen him do 1,000 times, right, out, and then bang it back in, middle field open, Leggett would have been gone. But the linebacker right there forces Leggett and T-Mac right there together. Not what you want, man. Not what you want. All right. They're in a traffic jam. There's nowhere for Bryce Young to throw, really. I mean, he could go underneath right here, but, when you have the ball on your 7-yard line, clock is ticking, right? You got to get rid of it quick. So, unfortunately, the Falcons, pretty much boxed up the Panthers right here. But if Leggett were to take that thing in, right, go out, come back in, he's gone. Leggett would have been gone. Now, this will be something to watch, as the season continues. Will the Panthers go back to this play right here? Because Leggett, man, he would have been gone right there, man. I like Bryce Young, though. Neither one of them are open. Throw it away right there. Smart play. All right, Panthers still down by 14, though. All right. Now, this play was interesting. All right, because the Falcons, they start off in that cover 6 look, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they start off in that cover 6 look. You see a quick invert. He's going to drop back right there. He's going to come up. Now, he's not going to come up and buzz or kind of play the seam. He's actually going to come up, play the tight end underneath. All right, so Falcons in a cover 3 look. If no one's going to play underneath over here on this side with T-Mac, look at this read for Bryce Young. Bada bing, bada boom. Once again. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than this right here. The Falcons thought they had, Bryce Young's kind of weapon picked up. There goes T-Mac. Wide open. No hook defender, no seam defender. I mean, just doing them dirty. I think T-Mac goes for almost 40, 39 right there. Empty backfield once again. And they were that close to connecting. That close to connecting. Run that back real quick. All right, 5 wide once again. Ooh, he gets a step on him. That safety just makes a hell of a play, to be honest. That close. That close. You can see the Panthers offense is evolving. Now, with that being said, it's the Falcons D. Take with it what you will. I thought, they're decent, to be honest with you. All right, they got, 5 sacks, I think? The T-Mac, man. Woo! Almost had another big play. All right, and right here, you had Etienne in motion. This was dirty right here on 3rd and 4 against their best DB. It's crazy how big he is, how fast he is, and he can just stop on a dime. Bang. He stops and then can break on it. That's what makes really T-Mac so special. Not just the fact he can stop on a dime like that, but the fact he can stop on a dime, break, come back to it. This man is one of a kind. All right, fake right there. This one was interesting. And this is why I think the Panthers offense has a ton of potential, because if you take a look right here, I don't even know who's playing. All right, T-Mac right here. I don't know who 35 is. I don't know who that is. No idea. Now, why is 35 playing him? Because if you go back real quick, all right, you have Terrell, I believe, on Leggett right here. So they're going to man up the backside, play zone over here, play cover 3 look, man up over here. They're manning up Leggett and giving T-Mac a one-on-one on that deep out. Like I'm saying, like I've been saying, the potential is crazy. If you can get Leggett to get it really, really going, I mean, he's getting there, but to be consistent, and then Coker coming back too, and you take away the best DB, put him over here, give T-Mac a one-on-one with whoever that DB is, nasty work. Absolutely nasty work right there. Then we have a few more plays left. Let's take a look right here. Falcons giving Bryce Young an interesting look pre-snap. Let's take a look. All right, cover 2 look, it looks like. All right, he tries to force it right there to T-Mac. I think that's really his only drop. I mean, they're playing physical. Could he have gone, I think, to Trimble? Potentially, and if he bites down right there, bang, and we could have gone over the top too. I'm not going to question it too much. It looked like T-Mac was going to get a step. I mean, DB's playing pretty physical, so I won't blame T-Mac too much on that one. All right here, Falcons, man, just stacking the box. T-Mac right here on a little flat route with Bryson blocking. I mean, the crazy part about this play right here was that if you watch, I think I have it recorded. Let me take a look. If you watch, it seems like they're still trying to figure out what's supposed to happen. He throws his mouthpiece in real quick. Bryce lays a good block right there. I mean, this offense, man, once it gets going, all right, it's scary. And then right here, all right, where T-Mac gets, I believe, his second touchdown. The crazy part about this play, the craziest part was the Falcons linebacker 55 lined up on T-Mac, man-to-man. Now, it could have been a match coverage. So if he goes over the top, all right, safety's going to pick him up. But if he goes out, all right, linebacker's going to stay with him. All right, because Chuba, I believe, right here is going to take it deep. If I'm not mistaken. All right, yeah, Chuba's going to take that thing deep. All right. Out route right there from T-Mac. Linebacker's with him. He's going to go up, lose him, and then lose him again. And he's wide open 2 feet down. Absolutely insane right there. Absolutely insane. What's crazy is if the Panthers don't start switching up T-Mac and where he goes, right? So let's say they put him over here on the outside, right? Essentially, it's probably going to be I did a corner route right there. It's probably more of a fade route over here, right? One-on-one with Terrell. I would like to say T-Mac would have the advantage, but it's still going to be a jump ball when it's all said and done. And Bryce Young and jump balls have not been consistent at all. I don't know the last time we saw a good jump ball from Bryce Young to a receiver. Could be on Bryce, it could be on the receiver. Either way, I don't know the last time we saw a good one, right? So instead, all right, they take Chuba deep right here and then get T-Mac mismatched on a linebacker. Mismatched on a linebacker right there, man. Absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. I mean, the Panthers, man, the Panthers are clicking. The offense is clicking. Now, if they can figure out how to balance this between the run game, woo, I'm excited. All right. Monday Night Football is obviously coming up. And as we look at the draft class, you got T-Mac first round pick. I got to say, I've been on the fence about kind of how the Panthers have been using him. I've been a fan, at first I wanted Jalen Walker, but T-Mac obviously is something the Panthers definitely needed. Been a fan since training camp, and I think they're finally figuring out how to use him. Then you got Nick Scorton. I gotta do a video on him quick, all right? Because Nick Scorton has absolutely been everything more as their second round pick, if I'm not mistaken. Then you got Princely. To me, with Princely as a third round pick, I think he's right where he should be. Before the college season started last year, a lot of people had him at first round, right? Kind of fell. And to me, he's right where he should be. You've seen him make some plays. Trevor Etienne, not getting a ton of burn. You got Rika, you got Chuba, you got Rico, you got Chuba. Whenever Trevor comes in, though, he's done his thing. Lathan Ransom, I'd be curious on what you guys think about Lathan. I haven't seen a ton of him lately, it feels like. And I don't know, maybe I'm just not paying attention to him specifically, or he's just not making mistakes. But I haven't really solely focused on him. Cam Jackson, he's made some big plays on the line. I think he got called the holding call the other week. But overall, Cam Jackson has been amazing. Then you got Mitchell Evans. Mitchell Evans is going to give you, 2 to 3 targets a game, and one of those is going to be 15, 20, 25 yards. Mitchell Evans, I got to say, definitely the most shocking. I don't know if he's been the most impactful because T-Mac's been good, Scorton's been good, but the most surprising is Mitchell Evans. It's not even close. And then Jimmy Horn Jr. It's hard to say. I mean, he was drafted in the 6th round, so to me, he's lived up to his value easily with all the jet sweeps. He got that big third down conversion or fourth down conversion a few weeks ago. The jet sweep, it got T-Mac wide open. He's lived up to his value as a 6th round pick. Will he develop this year? It's hard to say, right? He might be a next year guy where next year, he kind of learns the offense. That's my thing. If I had to guess why he's not playing more, I think the coaches do like him. I just don't know if he knows the offense completely, if I'm being honest, right? That's why he's only in on jet sweeps. It could be something deeper than that, but that's kind of my theory on why Jimmy Horn isn't getting more playing time. And I think once he has an offseason, kind of learn everything, I think next year him, T-Mac, Coker, Leggett will come out the gate swinging. All right. With all that being said, that's going to wrap it up. Want to come on here real quick, do a video over T-Mac. All right, Scorton, we're going to do one on him soon. Probably that might be a Sunday stream. So instead of, talking about doing or the post game because Panthers play on Monday, we'll actually probably do a Nick Scorton breakdown. So stay tuned for that. Panthers Devices out. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I appreciate all the support as always, guys. Take it easy. Have a good Friday. Peace.